This is Chell from the Beyond Stories YouTube channel, and today I'm exploring forgotten Soviet history in the south of Finland. I will uncover memorials, wartime trenches, explore the beautiful town of Hanko, and I'm taking you with me. So I'm starting my trip here at the Hanko Frontline Museum, and why I chose this place actually was, well, because it's historically very important, but also the border between Finland and the Soviet Union crossed through the whole museum area. So we will be checking that out today, and also all the cool war items that's been founded here in the area. So let's go and check it out. I will first go inside and then come outside and check all the bunkers and the frontline trenches. Moi moi. Yksi lippu, kiitos. Mä en... Se on ihan hyvä. Yes. Yes, kiitos. En mä tarvitse, kiitos. Yes, mä käyn tässä pyörimässä, niin kiitos. Okay, yes. And a little backstory on why I came to this part of Finland was because, well, Hanko, or the whole peninsula, was given to the Soviet Union after the Winter War as a naval military base, so it was leased to the Soviet Union, and they were here, well, until 1941 when the continuation war began. And when the continuation war began in late June 1941, here in Hanko were fought many battles to fight off the Soviet Union troops that had been here in Hanko for almost 2 years. And here at the museum area is the front line where the Finnish and Soviet Union Red Army troops actually fought. So it will be very interesting to see all the cool items and the history that lies here. A Soviet Navy soldier. Some old cutlery, some wooden shoes, a gas mask? Yeah, a gas mask. Let's see. It's the speech of the Swedish volunteers at the Hanko front by Marshal Mannerheim. We're entering now a different part of the... So this is a home in Hanko between 1939 and 1940. It says here that during the Winter War, the cellars and air raid shelters became very familiar to the inhabitants of Hanko, as the city was bombed 72 times in total. Yeah, just imagine you're a Hanko citizen and you have to go to your basement because they're bombing your home and your city. And then you just sit here and wait. And it says here that the In the spring of 1942, the inhabitants of Hanko were able to return to what was left of their homes. After the Soviet bombings during the Winter War, the German air raid and the Finnish artillery shellings against Hanko during the Continuation War, a large part of the city were in ruins.
Där fick vi övernatta i en lada med hö eller halm vad det var, minns jag. Och det var också en mamma med en liten baby.
Here is a little segment where they tell about the war veterans after the war. And I just want to say that I have the uttermost respect for our war veterans who fought for our freedom. And here is actually a wall where you can write your greetings to the war veterans. And thank you for the heroes who fought for our nation. Thank you, and a lot of hearts. And I think I'm now going to go outside and check all the trenches and bunkers. No niin, joo, kiitos. Mä käyn vielä tuossa ulkona pyörimässä ja vähän kuvaamassa. No mut hei, kiitos tästä. Mä käyn vielä tuossa. And here when you go up north a little bit, just up the hill, you can find a korsu, which means like a bunker they used here. The soldiers would have played cards, slept, just being in a little shelter and waiting for the enemy to arrive. That was pretty cool. And now we're leaving the bunker behind and just moving forward we have some trenches here. You're hiding here as a soldier. There's bombs, gunshots, everything. Must be terrifying. I'm too tall for this. And here you can see more of the trenches. Let me turn on my camera. And some barbed wire across. And I'm actually now leaving the museum behind me and go to the next location, which is a very interesting one. I've now arrived to my next location, which is called the Taktom Soviet Monument, which is basically a memorial for the Soviet soldiers who did not make it through the Continuation War here in Hanko. So let's go and take a closer look. Wow, that's not a familiar sight here in Finland. Let's see what it says. Yeah, it says kaatuneille neuvostosotureille kiitollinen synnyinmaa. to the Soviet soldiers who heroically fell during the Great Patriotic War, gratefully the motherland. And it says here that over 520 Soviet soldiers lay here. In the 1960s, this memorial was voted in the Soviet Union as the most beautiful memorial that's outside the Soviet Union. And I see why that is. It's a pretty beautiful place. And here you can see the names of the Soviet soldiers who did not make it through the continuation war. It's very, very peaceful. And now it's my time to go to the city of Hanko and explore a little more. So I have now arrived in this beautiful town called Hanko, and Hanko is actually the most southern point in Finland, and it's a very beautiful place. I'll just show you around, and later I'll go to a very interesting place. And Hanko is actually very known for its beautiful seaside houses, and during the summertime there's a lot of sailing and events here, so during the summertime it's very, very beautiful. Now it's a little bit quiet, but that works just for me. Yeah, just like look at these houses. They're very, very like old wooden architecture to it, so very, very beautiful. And like look at this place too. Wow. And I think I've been here like once before in my life, so seeing all these really brings back some fond memories. Like look at this, look how beautiful this is. There's a pink one and a yellow one, and I'll show you right here, it's a green one. That is just so beautiful. Yeah, and I was supposed to show you a statue called the Freedom Statue, but around it was a lot of construction, so it was a bit noisy, so that's why I now came straight here to this location. It's called Hangon Casino, which is actually one of the most well-known buildings here in Hanko. It used to be a part of a big spa complex, but during the Soviet Union's lease time here in Hanko, it was destroyed after the continuation war began. So this is the only building that's left, and now I think it's only a restaurant or something. Now we are at the beach, at the sea. I just love the sea. You know, the wind, the sound, just the peace, really. Now I'm gonna head in to a little path that goes from there all around the whole peninsula. And it's called the Path of Love. And it was actually built in the late 1900s for the guests of the spa complex, which I explained earlier. It actually starts here right at the edge of the casino and goes around the whole peninsula. I want to just go a little bit off-road from the path and head more to the sea. And I actually found a very interesting fact about the whole peninsula here and the cliffs is that back in the late 1900s there was air baths for the spa guests. But not only that, there were also a lot of immigrants who were dancing and celebrating while they were waiting for their ships to go to America. And it's estimated that between 1865 and 1930 there were almost 400,000 people leaving Finland to a better life during the migration era. Let's go back to the path. I might actually just sit here and enjoy the view. While I sit here and enjoy my view, I might as well read you a little snippet of a book called The Railway by Juhani Aho. At the top of the spruce tree, a magpie huddles, its neck tucked in and its head hidden within its feathers. It had already set off at dawn from behind the pine wood at the edge of the field, flown over the barn and cowshed, and finally settled in the garden, where a lone spruce stands among birches. The magpie has not yet had its breakfast. The kitchen door remains closed, and no one can be seen driving into the yard. Yesterday, the good maid scattered treats for the magpie, and as one horse left the estate, another arrived. I just love the nature here. It's a very beautiful place. I just have to be careful I don't fall into the ocean because it's very, very cold. And last time when I was swimming in the ocean was actually back in maybe November, December, and it was darn cold. So I don't really want to fall in. I met a gentleman back there. He didn't want me to film him, but he guided me to this location here. I don't know what it is in English or in Finnish actually, but I think it's some kind of a fortress, and here might have been like an artillery gun looking over to the sea. Oh, I might have found a little more of the fortresses built here by the Soviet Union. Oh wow, what is this? I think it's some kind of a bunker or part of the fortress. Sadly, you can't see inside. It's so dark in here. So that was it. That was my trip to Hanko and exploring all the interesting, forgotten Soviet history, and I hope you really liked it and hope you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!